Craig, what's your thoughts on the game?
There's a lot of thoughts, I suppose. I thought, our performance was pretty good, especially our defence for the 80 minutes. Our second half was really good there. I thought our first half defence was good. We probably didn't have to work as hard in the first half. Unfortunately for the Knights, they made a lot of errors in the first half, so put a lot of pressure on them, on themselves. So we were probably looked at half time without sort of probably mention that. We probably thought we should have scored a few more points in that first half. We had a lot of opportunities up there, but the Knights defended pretty well. We were a little bit clunky in a couple of areas, but I thought the second half was outstanding. But like I said, I thought our defence really built the platform for us in the first half, and I thought they carried on the second half, and again I think it's a pretty good win.
The guys have been caught in some games this year where you're just grinding out the result, but it seemed like that second half they really did click and take it away from you.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things there. I think the Knights probably were tired to touch. They did a lot of defence in the first half and a lot of defence inside their 20, which takes it out of you a bit. So I think that was a little bit of it. But I thought the two Camerons really stepped up in the second half, and it's started going to where we wanted to go to, and I think that was probably the main reason that our attack was really good in that second half.
With Munster's performance today, what did you make of his game, and particularly the strips and intercepts and some of that stuff?
Yeah, he just comes up with some plays that other players can't seem to come up with, So the intercept was, I wouldn't say was a big one, but it was typical Munster. The opposition probably getting a little bit tired and then trying to, I suppose, try a high risk play, but a bit of a risky play. But as soon as that happens, he seems to turn up on the right spot and then makes a good decision after that. So like I say, it's quite common for Cameron. He's obviously got this innate sense about what's the right thing to do at the right time, and more often than not he comes up with the right decision, the right play.
Your forwards really started the game strongly and finished it. They did a power of work in there. You'd be pretty pleased with how they performed as a group.
Yeah, I thought what they did. The two props were outstanding. I thought they both continued that on when they come back on. I thought again Dale was outstanding again. So and I thought our two edge players, especially in that first half, defended really well. Felice was very aggressive, and he was making good contact, and I thought Kenny done a really good job on his edge as well. So like I say, I thought our forwards done a good job, and then the guys that come off the bench, when Brandon come on and then Welsh come on. I thought they really stepped things up a little bit there too. And Pappenhausen through the middle. They, as soon as he come on, they started finding him with the footy. He had to make a lot of tackles, which he's a tough kid and he'll make them, and he did. And then when we put Joey on, he came up with a couple of tries. So our bench was really effective today and made a big difference. To our performance as well.
The Knights didn't help themselves, but were you at all surprised with, I guess, the relative ease of that, like the size of that performance against a form team like the Knights?
Oh, yeah, if someone said before the game, this will be the score, you wouldn't have believed that, So, at the end of the day, it's just take games as they are, You can't, predict or forecast, what's going to happen, or, sometimes there's a little bit of a blowout because I think in this case, as I said, the Knights made a lot of errors in the first half, and they do a lot of defending, so they'll probably, were tired in that last 20 minutes, and we scored a couple of tries there. So that sort of blows the score out. So like I say, but for us, we've got to be very happy with that performance, and hopefully, we can continue to build on that.
Welshie's only been back a couple of weeks, but do you think if he gets a call up for Origin, he's ready to do a job?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he's been 18th a couple of times now. I think I think I'm not quite sure what's happened with Jai with his injury.
For a couple of months, I reckon.
Is it? Yeah. And again, I'm not picking the team, but you think either Christian or Tim. I think Tim was the 18th for their first Origin game, so you think one of those guys will probably go in. Again, there's probably a couple of other guys I'll consider, but it'd be great for Christian if he gets picked. And if they go for Tim, we'd be really happy with that too. Like Tim's very well thought of here, as a player, but and as a person. So and he's got a bit of experience in Origin. So I'm not quite sure which way they're going to go there, but for each individual, I know it'll be a big thing for them, and hopefully for their sakes, one of them does get picked.
Just another one on Munster, Craig. What do you think? His ceiling is as a player. Like, say some of the things he does. Like, how much better do you think he can get?
Oh, I think he's 24-year-old, so you think he's going to get better in some areas, and I'm not quite sure what those areas are going to be, but as soon as the player, from the way I think, as soon as the player thinks he can't improve, it's probably time to retire, So I know Cameron Smith still looks to improve, Cooper Cronk would still look to be improving. Billy was always looking to improve right up until he retired, So, there'll be some things in there that, we'll want him to do a little bit better, or, sometimes it's not the physical things you see either, it's, his organisation and, I suppose getting better with the combination with the people around him. So there's a whole heap of different things he can improve on, and he certainly can do that. And especially the last couple of years, he's shown with his attitude that he is prepared to try and get better, and he's willing to put the work in to try and get better. So that's always a good sign.
Craig, there was a really ugly tackle on Hughes during the first game. There's been a few of those sort of crusher ones around in recent weeks. Are you a bit concerned that still is there after so many
I think if it's deliberate, it's certainly a huge concern. But I didn't closely look at that. But I think there's a lot of those tackles that are very accidental. There seems to be a lot more players turning into the tackle, so getting the tackle then turning, and then all of a sudden you're trying to put them on the ground and you come down over the top. So like I say, I don't really want to comment on that. We certainly got to get rid of the deliberate ones without doubt. But as I said, with as soon as though it's a more common habit of backing into the tackle or backing into when you're in contact, it seems as though that there's a lot more of them happening. But I think I'd like to think most of them are accidental. I don't think anyone goes out there to try and put their full weight down on someone's neck or the back of their head. So, but like I say, I didn't actually see the one today. I didn't have a close look at it now.
Thanks, Craig.
That's it. Thanks.